It's really rare in a movie for you to be able to see a coaching or therapy scene that is done really well, that actually captures that moment of transformation for somebody. And this scene in Good Will Hunting is absolutely one of my favorite scenes in any movie that I've ever seen that really shows what that moment of transformation can be like.
What is that?
This is your file. I have to send it back to the judge for evaluation.
Oh. Hey, you're not gonna fail me, are you?
Right away, you get something that's brilliant. He says, "You're not going to fail me." He smiles. And the therapist looks down, continues to look down, but doesn't answer him. It's already showing you that somewhere in their relationship, they've already created some level of trust for this moment to happen.
What's it say?
Want to read it?
Why?
Again, he's building trust as a therapist. You want to see this file, right? He has to say something to the courts. He's obviously here because of a court situation. It wasn't something that he picked to be in therapy. That moment is, again, a trust building moment between the therapist and the patient. But the second thing that is occurring there is immediately the patient's like, "No, I don't want to see that." Did not say, "Yeah, let me see it." He's like, "Why?" Which tells you that there's something in his past that he does not want to look at, which means he has shame. So if we don't want to look at something as humans, it means that there's a shame that we have in our system. And every time we think about that thing, that shame arises and we don't want to think about it. That's exactly where our healing is. That's exactly the thing to pay attention to. But he doesn't want to. And this therapist in a trust building exercise isn't like, "Okay, no, you have to read it." He's not pushing anything.
Have you had any experience with that?
20 years of counseling. Yeah, I've seen some pretty awful shit.
I mean, have you had any experience with that?
Personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Sure ain't good.
So there's that hesitation with the therapist at that moment. Am I going to share this experience? Am I going to share this background? So clearly, anybody who's had that experience of getting hit like that is going to have a combative relationship with love. They're going to have some sort of combative situation going on. And so any exposure that the therapist and or coach would give in that moment, you should assume that there's going to be some way in which that person is going to use that if they feel exposed, if they feel loved, particularly because if love came with abuse, when they start to love, they're going to go towards abuse because it's what's wired in them. And so he really thinks about whether he's going to share this information because at some point it may be used against him. He clearly goes for it, which means at this point he's going to go for it. Like you can tell right there, if a therapist or a coach has made a choice like that, he's going to go all in. And that means that there, again, has been some level of trust that's been created.
My father was an alcoholic. Mean fucking drunk. He'd come home hammered, looking to wail on somebody. So I'd provoke him so he wouldn't go after my mother and little brother. Interesting nights were when he wore his rings.
Yeah, he used to just put a wrench, a stick, and a belt on the table and just say choose.
Well, I gotta go with the belt there, Vanna.
I used to go with the wrench.
Why the wrench?
Because fuck him, that's why.
Your foster father.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a great moment. I picked the wrench because fuck him. So what he's telling you here is that he has learned to endure pain. And that pattern we call the endurer pattern. And that pattern is that I can't enjoy life, that I have to fight for everything, that I will endure whatever you throw at me. You can't break me, because that was the only place that he got a sense of self. Right? So if you are a person who feels like, you're constantly being smothered or beaten, and the only way that you can get a sense of yourself is to resist, then that's the relationship that you start having with not only the person, but with life in general. So there's a way in which everything that you have or get has to come with some sort of fight, with some sort of resistance. And it's like a person who's kind of digging his heels in against love, against life. And so clearly, if he's announcing that, if he's saying that, And you can see what I would be doing is that like there's that like little bit of a smile in the therapist here. It's like, oh yeah, I know, I've been on the other side of you picking the wrench, right? I know that you are going to endure and you're going to try everything you can to make it so that I get upset with you so that you have to endure me too. And if you know the movie, he's even enduring the entire relationship.
So, what is it like? Will has an attachment disorder? Is it all that stuff? Fear of abandonment? Is that why I broke up with Skylar?
I didn't know you had.
I did.
You want to talk about it?
No.
Okay. He is so pissed at himself in this moment. Like he gave a whole bunch of body language clues to show that he's upset. He's upset with himself. He's beating himself up. So he's repeating the pattern of abuse by having self-abuse. Again, he couldn't take the love because it was an endurance. Like love was something to be endured and this was too good. And so that happens a lot for people who have any kind of abuse in their life, whether that's critical, mental abuse, emotional abuse. If they get love that's too good, they can't accept it. It makes them feel very uncomfortable. And it's all because they feel like subconsciously they don't deserve it. There's a lot of shame going on. And shame is anger turned inwards. And here you can actually see him in his facial expression. He's angry. He's angry at himself. He's angry at the world. And that's the way that he got to be himself when he had to pick wrench, stick, or belt.
Hey, Will. I don't know a lot. You see this? All this shit. This is not your fault. Look at me, son. It's not your fault.
I know.
So what's happening right now is this is the moment that I love. The therapist sees that he is not actually letting that shit in. We call this speed bumping. Yep, I got it. Yeah, I know. Blah, 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 blah. And he's addressing the shame that's directly happening, right? This guy's angry at himself. He's pissed at himself for breaking up with a woman who he obviously deeply cares about. And this guy's saying, it's not your fault. And he's like, yeah, I got it. Like, I know your language. I know your therapy speak. Yeah. But he keeps, like, the therapist here is just keeping his heart open and just keeps on repeating it, which of course is going to bring out what he knows love to be. He's going to get this just direct bam of love, and he's going to respond to it the way that he has been taught to respond to love. Let's see what goes on.
I know.
No, you don't. It's not your fault.
I know.
It's not your fault.
All right.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Don't fuck with me. It's not your fault.
Don't fuck with me, all right? Don't fuck with me, Sean. Not you.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
So this moment, right? He does exactly what he learned love to be. The anger moves outwards. He literally hits the therapist. The therapist does not change. Keeps the open heart, and this is what cracks him. And that's the whole journey of the person who is in that endurance pattern, is that they're enduring the pain, they're not feeling the pain. And as soon as he met that moment of, okay, nope, we're going to like see through that shame. We're going to see through that anger. because all of that is just there to protect him from feeling the pain that he never allowed himself to feel, right? So if the dad was like whacking him with a wrench, he was like, that doesn't hurt. Yeah, so fuck him. I don't care. I'll take the wrench. I won't take the fuck you. You can't hurt me. And so he was literally learning not to feel the pain, but then all life became pain. It just all became endurance. And when you go through that pattern, oftentimes anger is a great way to move through that pattern into the sadness that's really there underneath, actually feeling the pain that you couldn't feel as a kid. Because if you did feel it as a kid, then it would just be like complete devastation. Who's there to take care of you? How are you going to maintain your sense of self? You're just going to be completely lost. And so that's the moment. That's like the transformational moment for somebody who's in that deep endurance pattern, is to actually feel the pain that they were never allowed to feel, or they never allowed themselves to feel. They just endured over and over again.